I was born in a small hillside village in Wales. No, actually, I'm not from Wales, I'm from Wisconsin. But the story is from Wales, and it's based on actual events, and it was passed on from generation to generation. And when Christopher Munger was a boy, he heard it from his grandfather, and he grew up to be a writer and a director, and he made a movie out of it, in Miramax movie in 1995 with Hugh Grant and Cole Meany. And now it is a musical. This is the second presentation of this. 3 weeks ago, we did a 20-minute version of this, and it's always a great challenge and opportunity to take the comments you hear that night and try to find a way to incorporate them in that amount of time. But it really helps you to open up your mind and remember it's not a book anymore, it's not a movie anymore. And you see new opportunities, you see new relationships that form among the characters. So those who were here 3 weeks ago, you'll see some new scenes in these opening parts. You'll see it, hear a new song with a good button on the end, thanks to Stephen. So I just want to thank you all for being here and supporting new musical theater. And without further ado, we present The Englishman Who Went Up a Hill, That Came Down a Mountain musical. Yeah, this will be right from the top, right from the beginning. We'll be working the first 50 consecutive minutes.
Welcome to Wales, and more specifically, welcome to Funungaru. Now there's a few things I ought to explain before we begin. Firstly, the people. The Welsh are proud. Some say we're even stubborn or hard-headed or 1,000 other things, but it's pride. It's pride in a way of life that's been under siege by the English for more than a century. Secondly, there's our mountain. The Egyptians had their pyramids, the Greeks had their temples. The Welsh have always had their mountains. In many ways, our mountains are the one unchanging thing that keeps us Welsh, not English. And our mountain is not just any mountain. It's the first mountain in Wales. And it was almost lost to us. Now, you may ask, how does one lose a mountain? And therein lies a tale that should be told time and time again. It is an epic story that is about this land and the people who live here. It is the tale of the Englishman who went up a hill and came down a mountain.
It's a tale, a wonderful tale, it's truly worth recounting. The Englishman who went up a hill, walking down a mountain. It's a tale, a wonderful tale, it's truly worth recounting. The Englishman who went up a hill, walking down a mountain.
You'll find it a bit bewildering if you come from other lands. What we knew our children's children, they would grow to understand.
It's a tale, a wonderful tale, it's truly worth recounting. The Englishman who went up a hill, walking down a mountain. It's a tale, a wonderful tale, it's truly worth recounting. The Englishman who went up a hill, walking down a mountain.
Some say it's a myth or fable, but we tell you it's the truth. Climb the mountain if you're able, and we will see the solid proof.
It's a tale, a wonderful tale, it's truly worth recounting. The Englishman who went up a hill, walking down a mountain. It's a tale, a wonderful tale, it's truly worth recounting. The Englishman who went up a hill, walking down a mountain.
It all started a long time ago. The war was on, the first one with the Germans. One Sunday, two map makers from the English army came driving from right over those hills over there.
Anson, your job was to find that first blasted village on the map.
Yes, I know, George, but I really think we should have taken that last turn.
Nonsense, Anson. I'm keeping us on the main road.
Does this look like the main road?
You have a point.
Look, I hate to say it, but I think we're completely lost.
Blast it, Anson. The map makers. Is there anyone who shouldn't be lost? It's us.
Well, I think we can assume we're officially in Wales.
Wales, the whole country is an embarrassment to England. Right on our front stoop, no less. It's filled with nothing but reprobates, half-wits, and gypsies.
Look, I think there was a signpost a mile back. Why don't I pop out and see if that clears things up?
Oh, nonsense, Anson. I'll go. You stay with the car and look sharp. There's no telling what to expect from the natives.
The natives?
Yes. One thing's for certain. We can't trust a single one of them. Ah, my leg's acting up again.
From your time in Bombay.
Yes, Bombay.
How did it happen again?
I caught a bit of shrapnel.
Oh, I thought it was a bayonet wound.
Well, yes, that was after I was felled by the shrapnel. It's funny, Anson. You don't talk about your time in the field much.
Oh, well, not much to say, really. Look, would you like me to go and look at that sign?
No. I'll manage.
Not much I want to remember, either. It doesn't stop the nightmares, does it? He was never at the front, but I was. He doesn't have a clue what war does to your soul. When you're standing in a hole, around you men are dying, and you're wounded, but you're trying to keep them all breathing, keep them from bleeding. And everywhere you turn, they're burning and they're screaming, it's hell. That's the only word that fits, it's hell. That's it. When you come back home, and everyone seems normal, talk about the war, they're suddenly quite formal, and they don't know what to say. They can't look you in the eye, you have to get away, just away. So I'm trying to find my place in this world, and somewhere that I belong. I'm trying to find my own little spot, my own little dot on the map. Could this be it? Perhaps. Excuse me.
Oh, hello.
That is, I'm a bit lost at the moment. Is there a village nearby?
Yes, but it's quite deserted.
Deserted? What do you mean?
Can you not hear that?
Excuse me?
Just listen.
It's beautiful. What is it?
That's the village. It's a Sunday in Wales. They're all in chapel now, and they will be for at least another hour or so. The entire town's quite deserted. But if you're looking for a place to stop and eat, there's a pub that's open at the end of the road about 2 miles.
2 miles?
Morgan the Goat will be there to greet you.
Morgan the Goat.
That's what he's called. Oh, but not to his face. Lord knows he hates it.
Well, this is quite a morning. Those voices, some beautiful scenery. I mean, the hills.
I know what you meant.
Well, thank you.
Good luck to you.
Hanson, I couldn't find any such sign.
George, come here, listen.
Listen to what?
No, listen really hard.
I don't hear a thing.
Just a moment ago, I swear you could hear singing. It was exquisite.
I think you've been out in the sun too long. Let's find a place to rest and eat.
Ah, yes. I made contact with one of the natives. Evidently, there's an inn at the end of this path, run by a Morgan the Goat.
That's the man's name.
Evidently.
I'm telling you, Anson, these Welsh are a strange, strange lot.
Betty from Cardiff. Megan Mama. Surprised you're not in chapel?
I'm on my way there now. What are you off to on this fine morning?
Oh, heaven. I just now only left Morgan's pub. Now you be sure to run and tell everyone at chapel that.
Perhaps I shall.
Oh, and they'll also want to know that I just now met a handsome English soldier, and we talked for an entire minute. Then we made passionate love right there on the hillside.
Have you no shame, Betty?
No, I can't think of where I left it. Perhaps it was there on that hill.
Good day, Betty from Cardiff.
Run along now, Megan. 5 years in this tiny tumble town, and they still call me Betty from Cardiff. What do you have to do to make friends with the ladies of this place? Oh, I know. Don't go to the pub. Don't drink and dance with all the men. And don't have any fun at all. And they're always with the gossip. It doesn't matter if the stories are true or not. Well, okay, most of them are true. But it wouldn't matter either way. Can whisper in the chapel, name a man and claim I've had him. Say I'll leave with the rebel, and I'm after every atom. You can wag your tongues, wag your fingers, try as you may. It still won't stop all the men in town from staring my way. Can I help it if they fancy me, and each man wants to dance with me? I'm just too lovely, can't you see? That's just the way I am. All your envy and your jealousy won't change what all the fellas see. Am I too lovely? Well, you see, that's just the way I am. Don't worry, girls, I'm not after your husbands. I'll sooner steal all of the dust out of your dustbins. It's true that I've kissed most every man in this town. The one that I love is nowhere to be found. Can I help it if they fancy me, and each man wants to dance with me? I'm just too lovely, can't you see? It's just the way I am. All your envy and your jealousy won't change what all the fellas see. Am I too lovely? Well, you see, that's just the way I am. Can I help it if they fancy me, and each man wants to dance with me? I'm just too lovely, can't you see? That's just the way I am. All your envy and your jealousy won't change what all the fellas see. Am I too lovely? Well, you see, that's just the way I am.
Now, in our village, there were two men who truly ran the town, and they were in charge of the two establishments where everyone gathered. There was Morgan the goat, who ran the local tavern, and there was Reverend Jones, who ran the church. Every Sunday morning, you'd find everyone in church except for Morgan the goat, and every Saturday night, you'd find every man at Morgan's except for the Reverend. Each man despised the other, but everyone else, depending on the day and hour, looked to each of the two for guidance and wisdom.
The man has no shame. That man has no soul. He'll be stuck in hell forever. Or better than be stuck with him in heaven. Reverend Jones knows the old vulture poking his beak where it don't belong. Quick to condemn and quick to insult you, quick to complain everything you've done. He stands each Sunday up in the pulpit, shaming each sinner and naming each culprit, shaming us all, though he knows we can't help it. I've no use for Reverend Jones.
Morgan the goat is a no good scoundrel. Morgan the goat is a terrible man. I pray every day everyone in town will drive him away just as far as they can. Day and night you can hear him revel, filling his glass with the drink of the devil. And women, oh, he's corrupted several. Stay far away from Morgan the goat. Reverend Jones is a nosy old vulture, poking his beak where it don't belong. Quick to condemn, quick to insult you, quick to proclaim everything you've done wrong. He stands each Sunday up in the pulpit, naming each sinner and naming each culprit, shaming us all, though he knows we can't help it. I've no use for Reverend Jones.
As I won't step a foot in his old tavern, and you'll never see me in his church. You'll steal every penny that you may have earned by taking a collection, pouring you another drink. Preach your moderation, striking up a wager. Pass around the floor box. Pick it from your pockets, can't you tell? He's the villain from hell, but I've gone away from Reverend Jones.
Morgan the goat is a no good scoundrel. Morgan the goat is a terrible man. I pray every day everyone in town will drive him away just as fast as they can. Day and night you can hear him revel, filling his glass with the drink of the devil and women. Oh, he's corrupted several. Stay far away from Morgan the goat.
There's something sinister about that minister. Lead us not into Morgan's Inn. Well, the sermons of the Reverend, will they never end? Filled with lust and drink and sin.
Morgan the goat is a nosy old scoundrel. Morgan the goat is a terrible man. Can't you tell he's a villain from hell? Stay far away from Morgan the goat. Wine, spirits, and tobacco. Well, at least the important parts in English.
Excuse me, could you tell us exactly where we are?
Funningaroo.
I'd better handle this, Anson.
Can you tell me what the name of this town is?
Finnegaru.
Damn it, Hudson. The man doesn't speak a word of English.
Well, I speak English well enough. I'm trying to tell you. You're in Finnegaru. That's the name of the village.
Charming. Well, I think we'll press on, don't you agree?
Would you fancy a drink?
On second thought, it's already late morning. Perhaps we should rest a bit.
Fine. So what's yours?
Excuse me?
What do you want to drink?
I'll have a pint of bitter.
Pint of bitter coming up.
And a glass of gin.
Right. English, are you?
Yes, actually. We're cartographers.
Ah, looking for more coal, I suppose.
No, we're map makers.
Map makers? Well, we need some map of this place. There's but a handful of streets. I could draw you a map in 10 minutes.
We've come to measure the mountains.
Well, then you've come to the right place after all. You see that beautiful mountain as you came up? That is the first mountain in Wales.
What do you mean, the first mountain in Wales?
Well, if you come from England, as you did, that's the first mountain you'll see. Or up from the coast, it's the first mountain you'll see.
What's it called?
Finnegaru.
Oh, these Welsh names. Could you repeat that?
Finnegaru. Look, I'll write it down for you so you can get it all correct in your map making.
Of course, it will only appear if it's over 1,000 feet.
What are you daft? Of course that's over 1,000.
Well, we'll verify that tomorrow. Which brings to mind one point, Miss Morgan. We will require the services of a porter, someone to carry our equipment.
I've got just the man. Johnny Shellshock, just back from the war.
Johnny, who the heck?
Johnny Shellshock. He's young and strong, but he's got a bit doodle tap alley.
Doodle Tap Alley.
Yeah, you know, daft, touching the head. The war did it to him. But he can carry things. If that's what you want, he just can't talk. He lives with his sister nearby. If you like, you can check on the way.
Yeah, that would be excellent.
Measures. English players.
I don't like it, Herr Ransom. There's one consolation, though. The gin is good.
Now, Johnny Shellshock's sister, Fiona, was often seen in the company of Morgan the goat. Today she was outside with Johnny, hanging linen.
What are you looking at over there, Johnny? Do you see? Johnny? Johnny? Oh, Johnny, it's getting so I can't get a word in. You'll be all right. We'll talk soon enough.
Hey, Johnny! Hey, Fiona, my lovely little flower.
You can turn right back around, Morgan.
What's wrong, my love? Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Fiona, talk to me. Well, I've got some good news. 2 important gentlemen are at my establishment, and they say they've come to measure our mountain.
Why didn't you tell me Betty's been staying at the pub?
Well, what are you talking about?
Megan the Mouse said that she saw Betty from Cardiff coming out of your place after summer.
That's slander. Slander, I tell you. Oh, that Megan the Mouth going to the chapel just so she can bear false witness to the whole congregation.
So Betty didn't stay at your place?
Oh, no. But you can ask any one of the boys.
As if I'll get the truth from them.
I'm not lying.
Promise.
Swear. I've got some good news for you. I think I can get Johnny a job with the English, help him carry their equipment, that sort of thing. Do you hear that, Johnny?
Johnny? A job? He's not ready. He's only been back a month.
Come on, Fiona. It would be good for him. All he has to do is carry a few things and he has to hold the pole straight.
No one gets paid for holding a pole straight. Unless you're Betty from Cardiff.
Don't you start up again. Look, I'm going to take Johnny to meet the English. What do you say, Johnny? Are you willing to carry what they can't or won't? Why don't you come with me and I'll introduce you to him? I'll be back later, my love, and perhaps to help you tuck in these sheets, eh?
Don't hurry yourself.
Save me a bit of something, my love.
Off with you now. I'm Morgan. You never change. I love a man who makes me smile. And when you're over with his charm and style, he says the sweetest things he ever heard. 'Twould be much sweeter if he meant one word. 'Twould be much sweeter if he meant one word. I love a man with many friends. He entertains them till the evening ends. They say he has the with the lassies are you a bit too much? And with the lassies a bit too much. I love a man and he loves me. For many years now we kept company. He promised me we'd wed one day. Perhaps he meant when we are old and grey. Could be he meant when we are old and grey. When will he marry me and make of me a royal wife? When will he carry me through the doorway of our own home? When will he settle down and start to live a proper life? When will I ever see he's the man he is next door to heaven, please? I love a man, my heart is his. I love that man and that's the way it is. A woman's fate seems mean and cruel, but to love a man is to be a fool. To love a man is to be a fool.
Word spreads fast in a small Welsh village, and within an hour, the villagers were already in a state of agitation. Why were these two English map makers going to measure their mountain? And what were they going to do with the measurement? By next morning, it seemed as though the whole entire town was there for the measurement. Morgan was taking bets as to the height of Funangaru, and the Reverend Jones, as always, refused to enter.
Reverend, would you like to place a bet?
I'll take no part in your wagering, Mr. Morgan, and I refuse to enter this den of iniquity.
But Reverend, we haven't served iniquity in years.
Where are your guests? I've got a few questions I'd like answered. For example, what are they going to do with this measurement?
It's for the map, they say.
Ah, but what's the real reason? Maps are made to measure properties for taxation, or to find more coal, or to define borders. Remember, the English only come here when they want something.
That's true enough. And you've heard, I'm sure, that Funangaru, our mountain, won't even be put on the map unless it measures 1,000 feet.
It won't be put on their map. Is that legal? Now, we need a man of knowledge. Davies, the school. When does a hill become a mountain?
I believe mountain is a comparative term. Take the Himalayas of the Indian subcontinent, for example. There they have mountains of 10,000 feet which are referred to, I believe, as foothills.
But take our mountain. It's not a foothill.
Well, if you placed it in the Alps, Funangaru wouldn't even be considered a hillock.
But this isn't the Alps. It's here in Wales. They're saying that it must be over 1,000 feet. But how high is Funangaru? Is it over 1,000?
It's hard to say.
Well, here are our gentlemen now. How did you sleep?
Fine, fine.
Just how do you intend to measure our mountain?
Excuse me, you are
Oh, this is a Reverend Jones.
handsome. Why don't you do the honors?
Well, yes, we'll be using a transit scope to measure the distance between the peaks of Newport Beacon and Whitechurch Hill.
But they're not mountains.
No, they're not mountains, but the survey of 1897 established their heights.
But how were those hills measured?
Well, the same way, by comparing them to other hills.
Well, who measured those hills?
God, Mr. Morgan, God.
Oh, yes, Reverend, of course, of course. On a Sunday when no one was sinning and he had nothing better to do.
Mr. Morgan, how about our Mr. Seashell?
Johnny, was it?
Yeah, Johnny Shellshock, yes, he's right here with his sister. Johnny, go pick up the gentleman's things, would you?
I don't know about this Johnny character. It's a bit unnerving the way he doesn't talk. He just stares at you intently.
I went through a bit of that myself, George, when I returned home.
Well, it's unnerving nevertheless. Mr. Morgan, thank you for everything. And now I think it's time we started up our hill.
Hill! Hill! You haven't taken a single foot of it, but already you have your mind made up that it's not a mountain.
And so the three of them, all soldiers, mind you, made their way up the mountain. And it was a quiet journey, broken only by the sound of the older gentleman's long-winded stories and short-winded breathing.
How you doing back there, George? George?
I'm fine. Fine. These are stretches. A bit steeper than I thought. Reminds me of climbing the sand dunes in Abyssinia. I just need to rest a moment.
Take your time, George. So, Johnny. This really is beautiful country. Right. So, you were born here in the village. Right. You know, I saw some time at the front myself. So I do know what you're going through. Perhaps more than anyone else here. I know what it was like, and if you care to talk, if you can talk about it, well, I think that helps. I mean, to talk to someone who's been there. You might not think it to see me now, but I came back pretty shell-shocked as well. See, I was at Verdun. An awful time. I lost my entire platoon. And still in the last words of some of them. You know, others were there 1 minute, blown away the next. Gone. Just like that. Can't say why I survived. Can't say why I'm still breathing and they're all... They just...
Let's keep moving, Anson. Transit won't work if we lose this sunlight. Never know when the fog's going to move in under these foreign conditions.
Yes, right, George.
All that day, the entire village awaited the return of the mapmakers. Now, it's important for all of you to understand that English maps had never included our village, but they had always included our mountain. To lose the mountain would be to lose our place in history, and the people were already exhausted by loss.
Ah, saints be praised, I think I see them at last.
Morgan, on second thought, I'd like to change my bet.
No, you can't do that. A bet's a bet.
Well, then I'll make another one.
Another one?
That's allowed, isn't it?
I suppose. What's your guess?
980 feet.
Well, calm down, educated man. You might know something.
Objection sustained. And besides, I'm not taking any bets under 1,000 feet. Traitor.
980 feet!
For shame, Mr. D. Are you sure you haven't got any English blood in you?
Aye.
Gentlemen,
So how did the measurements go? We're all very keen to hear the results.
yes, right. Just a moment. I'm not going to like this, you know. But truth be told, I really have a terrible headache, and I should lie down. You talk to them.
Me?
Yes. I think it will give you some practice talking to the natives, and you never know when that might come in handy. Good luck.
Well, gentlemen, ladies, we have completed our survey of Funangaru, and I have to inform you that our final height calculation is 984 feet.
984 feet.
I know that this is a great disappointment, but it's just a measurement, and this measurement should in no way detract from the beauty of this hill. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Hill! Hill! So yesterday it was a mountain, today it is a hill? Well, I for one propose that we draft a petition demanding the inclusion of Funangaru as the first mountain in Wales to be included on all of His Majesty's maps.
And who's going to read this petition? Who's going to agree? I don't want Funangaru on a map because we begged for it, because we pleaded. No! If Funangaru has got to be 1,000 feet, then I say, let it be 1,000 feet! That's 20 feet, that's all we need. There's a 20-foot tump, and we have our mountain.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm not sure how legal that is, Mr. Morgan, or ethical.
Legal. Ethical. Come on. How legal was it to say that 1,000 feet is a mountain and 984 is not? I mean, do you call a short man a boy, and a small dog a cat? No! This is a mountain! It's our mountain. If I say it's going to be 1,000 feet, then I say let's make it 1,000 feet!
All right, well, you make a good point, Mr. Morgan. But I don't want to hear that tone.
Morgan has a point. I have visited mountains that are topped by ancient burial chambers, and it is that height which is measured.
But you can't redefine nature with a few bucketfuls of earth. If it's not a mountain, then it's not a mountain.
No, Mr. Davis, it is a mountain. But I refuse to desecrate this mountain by lowering one part of Funangarrow to raise another.
Well, then we'll just take the dirt out of your garden there, Reverend, if that'll make it feel better.
Yes, that would make me feel better, Mr. Morgan. I would be happier if the mountain were raised by toil, by sweat, by sacrifice. Yes, take the earth from our own gardens. That would make me feel better.
I'd be fine with that, actually, for once. You know, Reverend, I think I agree with you.
This is outrageous. The English have taken a very scientific reading of our mountain, and all of you want to cheat it.
All right, now we have heard enough out of you, Mr. Davies, when Mr. Morgan was taking bets.
No, I will not be quiet. Do you really think you can just change what centuries of erosion have created? Do you think that the paltry efforts of this village...
Mrs. Hughes.
What's wrong with her?
It's news from the front. Her husband.
Oh. They've taken another one. We have lost a great deal of young men to the war. Not our war, mind you, but the war of the English. The English came when they wanted Welsh iron. They came when they wanted Welsh coal. And they came when they wanted Welsh taxes. And then they came to get Welsh soldiers for their fight with the Germans. This week alone, 3 women in this village became widows, and 9 children lost their fathers. And how many of us have lost a son, or a brother, or a friend? How can we let the English take one more thing away from us? Do you all not understand? They have come to erase our mountain, our village, our pride forever from the map. How can we face those who survived the war, who returned to find no mountain? While they fought the Germans, their families lost their mountain to the English. Will we let them take our mountain? or very Welshness? I say no. I say we must build our mountain so that it is a mountain that stands forever on the maps of the world. Where are the land of Fun and Gall? Where are husbands and sons? They've gone to fight in England's wars and to carry England's guns. They've taken our land, they've taken our coal, but now they've gone too far. We'll never forgive them for taking away the man of Fun and Gall.
So then it's agreed. Tomorrow, as a village, we'll begin rebuilding. No, reclaiming our mountain.
Monumental task for such small minds.
Good night, Mr. Davies.
I refuse to take part in this.
I said good night, Mr. Davies.
But what about the English? How are we going to get them to remeasure our mountain?
Yes, are they leaving tomorrow?
Oh, don't worry about them. They aren't going anywhere.
Now, Mr. Morgan, don't try anything too underhanded.
Oh, it won't be too underhanded. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve just for such an occasion. And then there's always our secret weapon, a little Betty from Cardiff.
Betty from Cardiff!
I don't know what you're insinuating, Mr. Morgan, but
Reverend, you just get the mountain finished. You leave the mop makers to me.
And me.
The next morning was an extraordinary one. The whole village awoke with a single purpose, all ready to work, all knowing that there was a job to be done, and that if the job was completed, our national honour would be restored.
Move the earth, dig the dirt, lift the land
with your hands. Make the climb another time. Build a mound of solid ground. As a people proud in a land unbound, determined, not disheartened, we'll never let the English steal away our mountain. We'll move the earth for all we're worth until our hearts are still. We'll never let them turn our mountain into a hill. Hey!
How do we know how much is 20 feet?
Well, we're going to use the flagpole.
Well, that looks a hell of a lot more than 20 feet.
It's 20. And mind your language, Sergeant.
Oh, sorry, Reverend. Goodness, we're going to need a lot of soil to cover that.
And it's a hot day for it.
Better than rain.
Well, but it will rain later.
Ah, pessimists, all of you.
It's just 2 pounds of sugar poured in the gas tank, and the English are immobilized. But it's rationed. I know it's rationed. But this is a national emergency.
Yes, but 2 pounds.
Do you want to have me tell everyone it failed because of you? Now, finish up. Are you finished?
There's just a spoonful left in the bottle.
Well, good. I'll take that to Fiona.
What if the car still starts?
Well, I'll still need to get that tire fixed.
What's wrong with the tire?
The earth, dig the dirt, lift the land with your hands. Make the climb another time. Build a mound of solid ground.
Mr. Davies, I want to talk to you about the school children.
I want to have my pupils help you falsify the height of Fun and Gall.
Your pupils. These are the children of the village, and the village is spending the day building a mountain.
This is unheard of, Reverend. Have you lost all sense of decency?
Davies, have you lost all sense of patriotism?
For God's sakes, Anson, Crane harder.
Yeah, I'm doing my best, George. Perhaps you'd like to give it a try.
Trouble, gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Our car won't start.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Why don't we go to see if Williams the petroleum can help?
Williams the Petroleum. That sounds promising.
And it appears one of our tires has been flattened. Do you know who's behind this?
I don't know what you're suggesting.
What I'm suggesting, Mr. Morgan, is that our automobile problems seem highly coincidental.
You stop right there, Mr. Gannon, before you say something you might forget. Now, if you just push me down to the garage, please.
Push you?
Yes, straight so. See, my back's gone out. Wait, gone out.
Move the earth, dig the dirt, lift the land with your hands, make the climb another time, build a mound of solid ground as a people of the earth and a land unbounded. Till the dirt is certain, we'll never let the English steal your way on mountain. We'll move the earth for all we're worth until the tides are still. We'll never melt and turn our mountain soil to a hill. Hey! Move the earth, dig the dirt, lift the land with your hands, make the climb, another time, build a mound of solid ground, move the earth, dig the dirt, lift the land with your hands, make the climb, another time, build a mound of solid ground. Hey!
Morgan, they're expecting me to fix their car.
Well, don't.
What should I do?
Just take the engine apart and just look it over.
What if I can't put it back together?
It's even better.
I don't know about this, Morgan.
Look, will you? Do you want me to tell everybody it failed because of you?
No. All right, Morgan. Gentlemen, I found the problem.
Well, it's about bloody time. What is it?
Well, I don't know the English word, but in Wales we call it Berthan Galw. Snapped in two.
How do you think that happened?
Wear and tear.
Wear and tear? It's practically new. Why, if I didn't know better, I'd say someone snapped it with her own
I don't
hands.
like what you're implying.
I'm implying nothing. I am accusing someone in your village of sabotage brought on by petty revenge against our qualification of your mountain as a hill. I am stating very clearly
I'm sorry,
that...
Mr. Williams, is it? How long will it take to fix it?
Oh, well, we don't have any of them Berthan Galws available here.
Where can we get a replacement?
Cardiff? We'll send Tommy Two-Strop to get a replacement part. But he won't be available till tomorrow.
So we better get a jump on that then.
Tomorrow? Damn it, Hanson, I don't like this. There's something strange going on. The whole village is far too quiet.
I've noticed. I quite like it.
You like it? Good God, Hanson, you sometimes say the oddest things. I'm telling you, there's dirty work afoot here. As I say, Hanson, you can never be too careful in these foreign climes.
It's only Wales, George.
It's still foreign. Let's go back to the inn.
Actually, George, I'm going walking. It really is beautiful country.
Remember, Hanson, keep your head about you. I don't want you going native on me. I've seen that before, in India. One poor fellow wandered off. We found him a week later, nearly naked, charming a damn cobra in a basket.
I'll be careful, George.
Perfect. The English won't be going anywhere for a moment. They're not going to be willing prisoners unless we find something to make them pass the time a little faster.
What exactly are you asking me to do, Morgan?
Oh, you know, just a bit of the old whatnot, you know, whatever it takes.
Oh, bugger off, Morgan.
I'm just saying. It's just a little bit of a, you know, whatnot. It's not like I'm asking you to woo the old one. This one's a handsome devil, don't you think?
Yes. And now I'm being courted by a gentleman for a change.
This isn't courtship. Seduction.
You never know, Morgan. Suppose he falls under my spell and decides to take me back to London with him. It's possible.
Betty, don't start dreaming. Do you think a man like him is going to marry the likes of you?
The likes of me?
What I'm saying is, you just don't be foolish. Now, you go over there, introduce yourself, and I've got to tend to Mr. Garrett.
What exactly am I supposed to say?
Come now, I mean, you know how it goes. You sail the show around a bit, show those hills, a bit of the valley. Give him a proper welcome there.
Morgan, you
Just
I should have known. No bloody good, Morgan. No good at all.
It's not what you think. I was only thinking of the mountain.
The mountain indeed.
Go. Do. Fiona, my love.
Should be easy enough. And Morgan be damned. Perhaps he will fall hopelessly in love with me. And take me away from this sooty little place, away to London. Oh, listen to yourself, Betty. Talking about it like it's real. A man like that's never going to fall in love with a girl like you. Could he? Love a man like him. Love a girl like me. It's not likely at all. How could a man like him love a girl like me? It's not like he hasn't met so many more ladies in London, and I'm a simple girl with a very simple tongue, with nothing but my simple charms to keep a man like him around. But the moment when he looked at me, a romance seemed quite real. And in that moment I could make believe that this is love we feel. But could a man like him live in a place like this? Wouldn't he start to miss the world that he's known? How could a man like him live in a place like this? It's not like it has a bit of the culture that he's seen in London. As a soldier, he's been overseas. He's traveled east and west, and there's nothing here in Finnegar to keep a man like him in rest. But each day that he stays here, he might feel more at home, and it wouldn't seem to me like he's in such a rush to roam. But
Trying to find my place in this world and somewhere that I belong. I'm trying to find my own little spot, my own little dot on the map.
how could
Trying to find that face in the world, that someone that I can love. Trying to find that one pair of eyes that shows paradise when they smile. I could get used to this.
from a very simple town, with nothing
Yes, I could get used to this.
to keep a man like you around. The moment
It's a safe little haven of heavenly bliss. Yes, I could get used to this.
hello again.
Hello? We met just the other day, didn't we?
Yes, just a bit, but not properly. I'm Betty Williams.
Reginald Anson.
Actually, they call me Betty from Cardiff
Betty from Cardiff, so that's where you're from.
years ago. So, where are you off to just now?
Hard to say. I just thought I'd see more of the place. Sort of grows on one rather fast, don't you think?
Is it now? Oh you like some company? I'd be happy to show you around. I could take you to a few places off the beaten path.
That'd be brilliant. If it's no bother.
Oh, no. No bother at all. It'd be my pleasure.
Oh, are you all right?
Oh, Mr. Hanson. I was told you were a man of arms.
Mr. Garand, a bit of bad luck today, eh?
Luck. Interesting word for it.
I'll get it fixed up for you as soon as possible.
These automobiles, you never know when it's going to give out on you.
Yes, especially with a faulty, what did you call it? Berthengaloo. Perhaps I should check with Anson on the train.
What you need, sir, is a drink.
You do have trains around here, Mr. Morgan.
Here you are. It's on the house.
Oh, gin. Very generous of you.
Another.
Oh,
Have another. It's already in the glass. Shame to waste it.
Come on. All right, one last one.
Bottle's still open. One more for the road.
I should really check with the Shane Federal.
Oh, come on, just one
more. There really isn't time.
Cut it out, Karen. There's always time for one another. One more. Am I right, Williams?
All right, is right.
Just one more.
Fruit of the vine and grain from the fields gives us our wine and our ale. It's all part of the plan. God gave drink to man, and so every bloody chance without fail.
Have another. Just toss one more down with a brother. There always is time you'll discover. For just one more drink, have another. Me lady love she thought it was time to turn a knot, so I went to church just in the wedding kilt. When I said, darling, just now, it's not time for our vows, let me pour another quick one down my throat. And another. Just toss one more down with a brother. There always is time you'll discover. For just one more drink, have another.
Molten near my death, and I've reached my final breath, and they've gathered for to lay me in the ground. Don't close that coffin till my glass has been refilled. I've had a chance to drink another round.
Have another. Just toss one more down with a brother. There always is time you'll discover. For just one more drink, have another. For just one more drink, have another. For just one more drink, have another. For just one more drink, have another.
Everywhere the 8 of us all in that tiny house, sleeping in one room, fighting for food and attention. My mother, bless her, I don't know how she managed. On second thought, I know exactly how she managed. Oh, look at me, I can't believe I'm telling you all this.
Why?
You must think this is all boring or terribly inappropriate.
Quite the opposite. This sort of honesty is hard to find in one, and it's very refreshing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for a lovely evening.
Oh, you're not turning in now, are you?
I am. I really enjoyed our walk.
I'm glad. Are you sure you don't want to keep walking? There's such a view of the stars from the hillside.
It's getting late. I really should retire for the night.
But tonight's not quite over, Mr. Anson. Won't you linger a little longer? Won't you stay for just a while? You know that I'll be lonely Can't you see the night is long? But it's only just blushes of a girl's request. I can't remember when I had a man refuse to keep me company. Why can't you understand how nice it will be staying here with me? Won't you stay for just a while? For you know that I'll be lonely when you leave. Can't you see the night is long? But it's only just begun. Won't you linger a little longer for me? How will you sleep, knowing I'm still awake, knowing I'm all alone, wishing for your company? Won't you worry about me? Won't you wonder if I'm safe? Won't you wonder if I'm gone? There's no way for you to see. Won't you linger a little longer? Won't you stay for just a while? Oh, that I'll be lonely. Can't you see the night is long? But it's only just begun. Won't you linger a little longer? Won't you linger
Bessie, I don't think this, what I mean is, thank you for a lovely evening.
Mr. Ransom!
Yes, what?
Good night, Mr. Ransom. You truly are a gentleman.
Good night, Betty, from Cardiff. You truly are a lady.
All that day until late in the evening, the building continued. Reverend Jones, old though he was, made the climb 6 separate times. Everyone in the village, every man, woman and child had played a part, save for Morgan, Betty, Davies and Williams. And everyone was proud and pleased to see the progress they had made.
The good Lord took a day to divide heaven and earth. We can't expect to do better than we have today. And look, we've broken the back of it. We're almost up to 14 feet. And what of the English? Mr. Morgan, a report.
It's okay, Reverend. Everything's going according to plan. Betty and the bottle proved to be a powerful temptation indeed.
Mr. Morgan, I don't know exactly what sort of business you're carrying on.
I'm just saying. I think we have another day at least. I don't see how much can go wrong now.
Damn and blast it! Reverend!
Introduce yourself.
Michael Birch.
Benjamin House.
Cassie McConnell.
Larry Picard. Gabriel Brilliant.
Paul Gorman.
Thomas Steele.
Elizabeth Fine.
Ashley Good.
wolf.